Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to episode 100 of the Casual Weebs podcast. Listen, this season has been absolutely insane. Next season's gonna be awesome too. We have a little, spring preview that already dropped. It is going to be absolutely stacked. We are eating good. But today we're gonna be talking about just two of the animes that have been dropping this past season that have been fucking phenomenal. Hell's Paradise, which dropped an insane, incredible, just episode. Holy shit. It's just honestly, in my opinion, my favorite anime of the season. But I want to talk about JJK as well. And I have things to say about JJK. Because the past two episodes, and hear me out. Let me get through the entire thing before you come after me and try to kill me. It's gonna be fair. Past two episodes have been absolutely atrocious. Just fucking I can't stand them. I don't fuck with any of the characters. I don't fuck with the fight. This Megami guy is an absolute fraud. How do you use a domain and have it, used against you? It's supposed to be the end-all, be-all, ability. And he has his ultimate just fucking turned on him. How are you getting crushed by your own fucking domain? What a pussy. But listen, here's the thing I keep having to remind myself, and I hang him with this epiphany in my head as I'm just sitting here this is ass. I'm like, this is brilliant. Hear me out here. Just hear me out here. It's not, I don't know if it's cope delusion or if I have snapped. If I've gotten to the point of a JJK fan where you just kind of lose your fucking mind.
Lobotomy Kaizen,
Dude,
baby.
I think I've reached it. So here's the thing. We've talked about it multiple times. Yuji's not the MC, right? And if you look at it like he is the MC, you're going to be disappointed, right? Because he's not going to necessarily behave like one, and the story's not going to follow him. It definitely doesn't revolve around him. You know what I mean? We're following multiple characters, and we're following more of a plot line, a storyline, right? It's kind of the same thing where if you look at JJK as a normal anime, you're going to be upset and disappointed by it. But if you kind of look deeper into it and more focus on what it does differently, it's wow, this is actually pretty fucking dope. Because two things really jumped out to me in these past episodes. First of all, I do want to say some good things. The end 2 minutes, we're going to get into more detail of this episode. The end 2 minutes were fucking awesome. I mean, Angel showed up, and honestly, Yuta, bro, I cannot wait. We had this intro of oh yeah, we have these 4 great sorcerers, and it's been a stalemate, and then Yuta came in, and he's belt to ass. Just fucking walks the one, and, he's going to conquer this fucking colony. Just, you got to stretch that out. That's just complete aura farming. Yuta's the GOAT. It is going to be cinema. I cannot wait. What an intro for it, too. So the episode did end well, but what I thought was really cool is that one thing, I keep getting upset because Gojo's, students suck. They do. The students that he actually put time with and focused on and, really mentored, they're kind of ass. Yuji, he kind of blows. I mean, he kind of gets, I don't even know what the fuck to call it, charity, because his body's goated. Because he's so durable and he can throw a punch, you know what I mean? If his body wasn't superhuman, he'd be cannon fodder. He'd get run through every fight, you know what I mean? His durability is what lets him get away with a lot of stuff. Megami, absolute fraud. You know what I mean? You think, oh, Gojo's student, Gojo raised him, he's a Zenin. But it's whoever said that Gojo was a good teacher? I'm wait. I always keep putting this high standard to his students, but whoever said that he's a good teacher? Most of the time, the best players are the shittiest coaches. And, I actually kind of like that. I kind of like how Gojo's, students aren't these OP Thanos level, people just because, oh, they were touched by the graces of Gojo, you know what I mean? Because Gojo's literally personality is, very arrogant, very egotistical, you know what I mean? Like a narcissist. So, he wouldn't be a good teacher. He wouldn't, you know what I mean? He wouldn't be, able to connect with other people and help them, really shine and, bring out their strengths. And look at the people that he did, his other, students, Yuta and Maki, are really, really strong, but they also didn't rely on Gojo a whole lot. You know what I mean? He kind of just added some wisdom here and there, but they really kind of focused on their own thing and went their own way. It's the people that he really focused on, yeah, they're just they're not cutting it. So I thought that was actually really good, and I was that's actually kind of sick. You know what I mean? It kind of gives more meaning to a good teacher than just he's just OP, he's just strong. So I actually kind of like that. And same thing with the one dude, the comic. I fucking wasn't messing with him. I thought his costume is weird. This dude's weird. Don't fuck with him. I like how we actually have somebody where it makes sense. If people are just getting these random abilities, they're not going to be able to just be a god with them. You know what I mean? The fact that someone ended up with an OP, fucking country nation ending ability, but doesn't know how to use it, wasted all that potential. I'm that's actually kind of lit. Because that actually, makes sense. That actually would happen. Someone who, doesn't understand their ability at all, and if they did, and if they had training, they would be able to rival and maybe even surpass Gojo. You know what I mean? But since they have no instruction, they have no idea what's going on, and they're kind of clueless, like it's just completely wasted. Like that's kind of lit too, because I feel like a lot of animes would be like, oh yeah, let's just give someone an OP ability, and then all of a sudden they just become a god. You know what I mean? All of a sudden they just get like 20 years of training and of education, and they're just set. And it's like that, like how? You know what I mean? How does somebody just get powers and just become like they rival everybody? So I actually thought that was sick too. So there was a couple things I was like, fuck this, but then I was starting to think about it. I'm like, wait, I'm saying fuck this because it's different and it's not what I expected, but that's what makes it good in a way. You know what I mean? And again, maybe Lobotomy Kaizen, maybe I fucking lost my mind, but that's like the fucking mental circuit I've been going around when watching JJK for the past 2 weeks.
You make some really good points, and as somebody who loves and hates JJK, I think your point on Gojo is really important because it's treated like a typical like average shonen in the
Mm-hmm.
sense that the reading comprehension devil has kind of gotten us all at one point or another, especially if you're a manga reader. The fact that Gojo, and I will say this is both like a big negative, but also a positive. Gojo never really took time with anybody but Yuji to be like, all right, this is how you use curse energy. This is what a domain is. And even though he was new to all this shit, he still took him into like major, like territory with Jujutsu and was like, this is what this is about, and like you're going to have to work on it, but you're also capable. With Megumi, like, there's deep, deep knowledge about the 10 shadows and like his curse technique. Gojo never once was like, this is what we got to do to exercise Maharaga. Let's work on your Shinigami. Let's like, without giving any spoilers, let's see like what we can do with the whole cast of Shinigami. He literally fights Sukuna in episode 4 and loses Orochi. So
Mm-hmm.
like, in a way, you're like, dude, Gojo is a dog shit teacher. But if you get to the end of the series and you read Modulo, Yuji basically takes that same approach and is like, well, it's up to the students to do the dirty work. It's up to them to like make up for what their senseis don't teach them. That's the way I was raised. That's what I
Exactly.
was
It
taught.
makes a ton
And
of
how did I
sense.
turn out? And you're like, oh, that's a really good point. You also had the King of Curses inhabiting your body for however long this series spans. Your, lineage is special. Like Yuji's a very rare case, and Megumi was too. I just think he never really got the, partially because he left his family in the situation with Toji, but he
Yeah.
never really got the love from Jujutsu where they're like, oh, this guy's like arguably the most special student we've ever had. Like if they put more resources in him, Megumi would be more main character energy,
Mm-hmm.
and you get the opposite from Yuji, who is the main character, and you get the real main character treatment from Yuta, who's away from the series up until what are we on episode 50 something,
Yeah.
40, 50? And like Yuta's not in the story enough for you to be like, that he's the MC. Like for him to show up at this point, like post Shibuya, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, he's kind of that guy. But he was also doing missions in Africa and in other continents and like
Mm-hmm.
taking on serious, work. Contrary to like our trio, Nobara, Yuji, and Megami. This fight, I think, with Megami was cool because it highlights like Megami's inefficiencies, but how he deals with it. Megami's a super smart fighter. He's very analytical, but he's just not that tough. He doesn't have that many kill
Yeah.
moves because he
Not
hasn't
at
really
all.
come close to mastering his technique. Like to fast forward to the end of the fight, yeah, he's literally getting his ass kicked in his own domain, which is imperfect, which is also fucking bullshit. After beating that special grade curse, he knew this. He didn't work on it once. There's never any training. It's not like, all right, sweet, I got a decent domain
Yeah.
where I can like multiply myself. I can use all my different Shinigami. There was no training. There was no work. There was no steps forward for Megumi. So like for me, it's like he was failed by the author as a character, fully
Yeah, especially in
from
season
beginning to
three.
end.
In season three, like he's just getting fucking embarrassed because
Just wait.
like
Just wait.
it's so bad. Like what the fuck? And I love like Yuji's mentality too. It's like, oh, Gojo taught me this, and look how I turned out. But it's like, okay, Yuji, how did everyone else turn out? How did literally everyone else turn out? How are they doing? You know what I mean? Like you're
And
the
again,
only, and like that's my logic too. But like Megami being a Zenin, I don't think means fucking anything. Considering that the only Zenins who are
no.
cool are fucking Toji and Maki, who are just have the heavenly principles and just fucking despise the family, and it goes completely against everything that they do. You know what I mean? So I don't think Zenins are cool, but I think they have the same way where like they have like a couple sorcerers that are fucking beasts. Because like, okay, you take that many people, you instill a shit ton of training, and a couple of them end up surviving. It's like, okay, they made it. It's like the same thing with like Yuji, where it's like, okay, 98% are rejects. One of them turned out to be a success. You know what I mean? Awesome, that works out, but like, is that an effective strategy moving forward or trying to make people better? You know what I mean? So that's why like when it comes to Mega being a Zenin, I don't really put too much weight on that. It's like Don't mean anything.
Spilled my drink all over my pants. Just so you know, I wanted to put that out there.
I
Um,
saw.
oh fuck. Anyway, locking back in. Yeah, I think, and that's also partially Megami's like role in the story. I think it's easy to get away from like the simplicity of who these characters are. Yuji's
Mhm.
whole arc, all the way to the end of Modulo, which is the sequel if you're not a manga reader. I feel like a lot of this shit has been spoiled just because the community is so like leak driven and stuff.
Yeah.
But for those of, those pure innocent souls who have, avoided the degeneracy of Lobotomy Kaizen, Yuji's whole point is laid out in season 3 in the beginning. I'm a cog. I don't have any goals. I'm not
Mhm.
here to accomplish or achieve anything. I'm here to be used in the way that I need to basically defeat evil, right? Megami's out to save his sister. You know, I think Nobara just wanted to move out of like her
She wants
country
the
town
city
and like,
life. She wants like the
yeah,
typical,
she loves to shop,
yeah.
but she's not like a true jujutsu sorcerer. Where like I'm sure Gojo was raised in a context that like you are God, you have the perfect abilities, like you are the crown of jujutsu. So like his whole world sphere revolved around that. Megami's didn't, and in a way, like Gojo let him have a semi-normal childhood. We didn't get like some of the flashbacks with Megami and Angel yet, but part of that, like Gojo not taking time to like, all right, let's work on that domain. All right, how are we gonna exercise Maharaga? How are we gonna achieve other totalities? Because he did that in like fucking episode 3 or 4 with the dogs,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So he knows a lot about his technique in theory, but he never really applies it or uses it to get better. And I would kind of, before I go too hard on that stance, I would have to like look at the timeline of the story because it does move super quick.
Mhm.
But without going too far, they take a month to train at the end of the story, but we didn't after Shibuya, and you saw how big the gap was between not just like the curses or the disaster curses, but also other sorcerers, Toji, Naobito Zenin, Yuji after he got the piss kicked out of him by Yuta and Naoya. Like there was
Mhm.
a lot of sorcerers they run into where they were like in a one-on-one, no plot armor, I get low diffed, which I guess is part of the whole shonen trope. But I think Akutami writes in a really, really impressive way that like if you can look past the typical, shonen subversion, like, badass MC has King of Curses, power up, Nine Tails mode, like type bullshit. Yuji doesn't really get that.
Mhm.
Like it is really well written. Yuji never has a goal. He doesn't really give a fuck. He's just there to fucking left, right, good night. And like
For real.
it'll take us, and I think season 3 is confirmed for January of 27. Awesome. We love that.
For
I keep
JJK? What do you mean?
like season 3 part 2.
The end of the season, end of the year. I mean.
Yeah, so like the winter
Mhm.
season, sweet. We'll be back on this lobotomy train soon enough.
Yeah,
But I
100%.
think Akutami doesn't really get enough credit for his writing. One, because people are fucking stupid and, we have short attention spans and even I miss a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But like to your point on Gojo being a bad teacher, there's in the manga like a series of panels where they ask each character, obviously the trio, Todo, Shoko, Nanami, they're like, who is Gojo to you? They're like, he's fucking arrogant, he's rude, he's full of himself, like he's really hard to work with. All he cares about is himself. But everybody was like, yeah, but he's the strongest. He's the
Yeah,
best.
that's
He's untouchable.
can't deny it.
But like, he's not like necessarily a great guy. Like he is. The trio loves him and like he kind of loves the trio.
Mhm.
But he's like an annoying big brother who's like OP, gets all the girls and has a cool car. He's not like that father figure like Jiraiya was to Naruto.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the best comparison, but like that is his character. Gojo is also 28.
Mhm.
I was just 28, many many years ago. And like it does kind of fit his age to the point where he's not really like looking to be like a dad or like, I'm sure whatever 24 or however many years ago that was 21. He
Mhm.
wasn't like, oh, awesome, I'd love to raise Megami. Well, I killed your dad. Like I'm just fulfilling his dying wish. Like I
Yeah.
didn't ask for this. I'm just doing like the man of honor type thing. And I think well, like if you really step back and think of it, now that like the manga's been over for a while and like I've come to grips with everything, sort of. Like you can appreciate the writing and like it is a really good story, but like you kind of have to think about how it's written. And you're right, it's not about an MC like Naruto. It's about the story and like the trio, and nobody really feels like the MC for any
It's
reason.
not the story's not made for us. It's not made to appeal to masses. You know what I mean? Which is why, like, if
Yeah,
you if you think of it like, oh, I want it to be this way, it's never gonna be that way. It's not for you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. It's supposed to be messy. It's supposed to be the way that he wants to tell it. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like there's a lot of like, uh, controversy with it because like there is so much like back and forth and like a lot of it's supposed to be I feel like it's supposed to be complicated, you know what I mean? I feel like that's the point. I think he wants there to be like reading comprehension problems, you know what I mean? I think he wants it to be
He certainly didn't help.
controversial, yeah. And I think he wants like shit to go wrong and to happen that people don't want to happen, like Nanami dying, like bruh, like if it was meant for us, Nanami would have still been around or we would have got more of him, you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's meant to be messy and to be like kind of like beauty's in the eye of the beholder, you know what I mean? Where like something's like different, it's unique, and it's like it's beautiful for that reason. I feel like that's what like JJK is. JJK is really good because it's like wildly different from what we like usually get. You know what I mean? And it's supposed to be complicated, it's supposed to be messy, not supposed to be perfect. And I feel like that's what makes it like really good. Is like especially when you get the full picture and you get to the end of certain arcs, you're like, oh, that makes so much more sense in the beginning or in the middle, or like at the end of the series, and like now in like the second part like modulo, you know what I mean? Like a lot more like starts to like make sense because it's not supposed to make sense right now, or it's not supposed to be like good right now. You know what I mean?
And it's super easy for me, who's like read the manga, read modulo, like
Mm-hmm.
watched countless videos on it. It's easy for me to like understand certain aspects of the story, whereas if you're just an anime only, you're like, what the fuck? I think the last thing I'll kind of say about it is it's told. I think you're exactly right. It's not written for a shonen audience. It's almost told you like, this is a story that happened. Here are the facts. Here's how it went
Yeah.
down. And it's not about feelings or like, I'm rooting for this character. It's like, this is just how it went down. And I think the perfect way to kind of look at that is like, Yuji fights Higuruma. It's not really a battle of like jujutsu. It's more Yuji like showing off his durability and like his appeal to character.
Mm-hmm.
The obvious iconic scene where he's like, yeah, I'm not lying. I'm not trying to deny it. Like, I killed all those people. And Higuruma's like, no, you fucking didn't, you idiot. But, like, it's not a battle of, like, wits or smart, where Megumi and Reggie is almost explicitly, like, wits and smarts. Right from the rip, Reggie Star is, like, an above-average jujutsu sorcerer, despite that goofy fucking
I hate,
receipt dress.
bro. I hate
Ass
so
design,
many of the
bro.
designs. I swear, the dumber they fucking look, the stronger they are. It fucking is so annoying. Like he just looks like a bum. I'm like Reggie. Like who is this Reggie guy? Is Reggie from Walmart, bro? And that's what Megumi's losing to. Okay, all good. But then you remember
The
that
ultimate
like he's from back in the day. You know what I mean? Like he's older than he seems. He's pretty gifted.
He's the most lethal Walmart greeter. The guy that checks your receipt when you're leaving?
Oh
It's
yeah.
Reggie Star.
No one
But
gets
like
past
Reggie's
Reggie.
evidently not. Like Reggie's like pretty fucking strong. He's got like
Hmm.
kind of a corny technique, but he makes the most of it. Like it's pretty efficient the way he uses it.
Hmm.
But his wit and his smart make him a challenge. If you were to flip the roles, Yuji probably beats Reggie in like a quarter of an episode. I think he would just literally beat the fuck out of him. A
Yeah.
couple black flashes and Reggie's dead. I think
Yeah.
Yuji could have easily soloed that situation, no problem. Whereas like Megami, he doesn't have that kill shot without Maharaga. Like Reggie's pretty cunning. He sees the dog coming in the very beginning in that hallway, and at the very end of their fight, like he sinks through the domain. He ends up in the swimming pool, and he's like, oh, he had to pull out of his domain because he was about to die. So they're walking forwards to the pool, and Reggie says this to himself, like, all right, so he can't use his domain. His curse technique is burnout. That means he has no Shinigami. I don't have to worry about any of the other thing. And he already considered the dog dead. And Megumi literally goats him into it thinking, this is what he'll think.
Hmm.
Yep, I use my domain, my curse technique's burnout, so you know what that means, right? Reggie's like, yeah, I do. So they literally square up. Amazing animation on that, like, 30-second fight. Reggie gets up on the wall, and fucking Megumi, his little, like, skinny ass, just hits him with, like, two wicked hooks and, like, rocks him. You're like, all right. There's that Toji, the son of Toji. Go kick his ass,
Yeah.
Megumi. And then you just see him boxing him, and that like flash, and the dog just like splits him open, and he's like, that's how Megumi fights.
Hmm.
Megumi's usually smarter than the people he fights.
Hmm.
And he's like, oh, like you could see Reggie, he's like, damn, you killed me. And he was like, yeah, it's gonna take a lot more than that to kill the dog.
Well,
But he plotted that from the beginning. All right,
yeah.
remove him and save him for the end. Like that to me was set up to show you who Megumi is, how Megumi fights, versus flipping it and having Megami kind of like dish it out with Higuruma, and like they would have a domain clash, and like I feel like he'd be a lot more suited to fight Higuruma because he has more flexibility in his technique. Whereas Yuji was just like, I'm gonna run and out durability this
But
guy
the
and like
problem with
throw my
Megami
jacket at him.
is it comes back to season 1 when Gojo sat him down at the baseball game. Like Megami doesn't swing for the fences, bro. Like
Flicks
Megami,
him in the head.
yeah, like Megami doesn't like he's not like his personality doesn't match his like the Ten Shadows. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
he's not the carry. You know what I mean? If it's like a team comp, he's like the support. You know what I mean? He's like the sub DPS. Megami doesn't want to be the one to like have the shine, the glory. He doesn't want to go for it all. He's not like aggressive or like lethal in that way, which is also why I feel like he's so shit with the Ten Shadows because it's like you're just not using it right. You're using it in such like in a like oh, you're wasting energy and time. Like you brought
It's
it up
very
last
passive.
episode. Yeah, because you brought it up last episode when he's like in the room and he had the frogs and he like was like choking him out and the frogs were
Pulling
pulling.
him from
Like you're using it in like such a way where like you're overcomplicating it. That's it. He's like trying to overcomplicate something that you can just like if you like brute forced it a little bit. Like if Yuji had that ability, I feel like he'd be way more deadly with it. You know what I mean? Where like he tries to be a little too strategic and like it just doesn't work out because he doesn't have that killer instinct or the balls to do it.
no, and I already said this. He should have killed Remy right on the spot.
Oh my god, yeah, I
As
know
soon
what
as he
you're
gets
talking
back
about
there,
now. It's so dumb. She's
should have just
annoying.
cut her face off. And the fact that he like cuts that guy's face in half and is like, "Oh, I gotta wave away the sparks that come my way." He should
Yeah.
have just killed Remy. But, you know, he's got a crush on his sister because he's a Zenin.
I also,
It's
to
in
be
the
fair
blood.
though, I also think he like maybe wasn't in the best condition to do anything because like he
The dog
instant,
do it, bro.
bro. He turned that corner and he instantly collapsed. Like bro was like dead. like
I love
it's,
how he like walks away and then as he gets to the corner, he's like, "Ah, fuck, oh, I'm hurt."
I can't look cool anymore in front of my lookalike sister.
I'm off screen. It's good. But like, I guess it's just the most frustrating part about Gumi. He was never like, "All right, how do I tame Maharaga?" Like, I'm
Dude,
strong,
I
but like,
know. You have the OP
even in that
ability, you
room,
don't use it, bro.
like I thought it was cool from like the MMA standpoint. Like,
Mhm.
they're like pulling in opposite ways. Like, he's like pulling the fucking life out of that guy.
Yeah.
He just as easily could, in any closed environment, have the frogs, you know, pull limbs, just pull that sword out of the shadows and just one cut.
Yeah.
Or you're already like almost killing him. He doesn't have that killer instinct because he's more like his mom. He is his mom, and he's not fucking Toji.
He's a
Which is the
pussy.
most
He's like
tragic-
a little mama's boy.
Bumgumi Placigaro.
Yeah.
You know, and I love Megami's character because it fits and it's a great story narrative. But like, you're so frustrated because when you sit back and think, like, he could be so much more. And you know,
But
I
that's
think
what
by
I
the
was
end of
that's what I was talking about, like in the beginning of this episode, where it's like that's what kind of makes it cool. Is that like anybody
Yeah.
else, any other author would have made it like that? You know what I mean? Anybody else would have written him like Naruto with Kurama. You know what I mean? So the fact that like he's like, no, you know what? It'll be cool to have this fucking awesome ability, the legacy of the Zenins, but let's give him a different personality that clashes with it. You know what I mean? And that's gonna create that
So
frustration.
true.
And it's like because of that, and I'm just one of the person like I'm defiant and stubborn as fuck. So like there's a part of me that's like, fuck you. It would have been way cooler if it was like this. But I'm like, all right, you know what? It's kind of lit that you're doing that. You know, I'll fair game. You know what I mean? Because no one else is gonna do that.
And you got to think too, like narrative wise, and they do like go into this in modulo. Like, I don't want to talk about it here yet. Like that mindset with another sorcerer. Like Megami was never like, all right, how do I tame Maharaga? He's literally
Yeah.
getting beat up at a school function by a bigger dude, and he's like, all right, you know what? All right, Toto, I'm gonna fuck you up. And Toto's like, oh shit. He would have killed everybody at school. He would have
Yeah.
killed everybody at his school because he got beat up. You know what I mean? Like Megami was never that guy until he's like, I might just have to do it. But like, if you think about it, if he masters the 10 shadows, all the totalities and everything, he would just carry the whole franchise. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Yuji's tough towards the end, but like right now, there would be no room for anybody else. He would almost embarrass Yuta. Like Yuta has Rika, which is obviously a huge asset, but if Megami was like fully fleshed out, there would be no like Jujutsu Kaisen. It would be the fucking, you know, Bumgumi show. So I'm with you. I'm glad they did it the way they did, but to appreciate it, you kind of have to like eliminate your biases and your like typical
Exactly.
shonen expectations, which I think, like you said, it's wildly different than what you expect, and that is part of what makes it beautiful amongst its other criticisms. So yes, I will bitch about Megumi every time we bring him up, but he is arguably the best written character, maybe a top 3. I think he really is outstanding given the context of everything, which is not an easy breakdown.
Yeah. JJK's that dog that looks so fucking stupid and ugly. It's adorable. You know what I mean?
Like the dogs that have like their, you know, their tongues out, and you're like, ah. He's hideous, but like you stare at him long enough and you're like,
He's kind of
look,
cute.
look, cute. Like I
That's
don't know, like
JJK. It really is.
you got to think like if his sister, what? Wow, I can't get into it because I'll start bringing up the shit from Modulo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Megami,
No.
I kind of like you. I'm on Toto's side. I would have beat you up at school because you're a nerd and you have a crush on your sister. You should have killed Remy. That's all I gotta say.
Let's switch gears here a little bit now because I feel like we said what we needed to say about JJK. I'm like, dude, you know what? For episode 100, let's just send it. You know what I mean? I was like, let's just
dive in.
Let's piss off the masses because that's what's gonna happen. And because we even brought it up because it's not what you want it to be, and you have to like erase your biases. Like, not everyone can do that, and that's why like it's so controversial. People get so heated about it. But honestly, for what it is, like JJK is fucking awesome, and I cannot wait for next episode for sure because Yuta. Oh my god, I cannot wait. Like, please just drag it out. Like, it seems like it is gonna be the most aura farming belt to ass fucking arc we've had. We need one. Like, we really need one of those.
Only thing I'm gonna say is wait for the fucking kiss, dude. That's when I was like, oh, Yuta's him, dude.
The kiss?
The
When he
kiss.
kisses Megami?
I wish that he would have done that to Megami.
That
But don't
would've
worry,
been
Megami
awesome.
will get that treatment much later. A couple episodes, he'll get that shit.
But yeah,
What the fuck was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh,
Okay.
this is like clearly the peak for me. What's coming up? Like I think it's like a 45-minute episode with Yuta. Very, very sick.
Okay.
It's like one of the only instances we get this aspect of jujutsu. So like, it's a must watch. It's really, really good.
Damn. Next week, we might have to do a video just on that. So that's gonna be the season finale, right? Well, the season finale, I know we're getting a part 2, but for what we're getting now, that's gonna be the end.
Correct. Yeah.
We might have to do a video just on that next week. Talk all about Yuta. Listen, we kind of said a bunch of like shitty things. Like, I think that's gonna have to be the JJK Glaze. You know what I mean? Episode.
I do love JJK. I have a Gojo tattoo. I will be getting definitely Daddy Raga, big Raga, dude. I low-key just want him to have like a big Cuban link chain, just like thugged up, because that's the only time he ever steps in. It's like, all right, well, we got a, earth-ending curse.
Yeah.
Send in big Raga, and he's like, oh yeah, dude, love him. The show is awesome. I think I critique JJK a lot because I was so invested.
Yeah.
I was the guy every Wednesday reading fucking Miyamura's leaks on Twitter. God rest his soul. If he's in jail somewhere and where the fuck ever. But like, dude, I love it so much. Like, I critique it a lot, but it's because I do love it. I know that sounds contradictory, but I am a JJK fanboy, and I will always be.
Dude, it's so good. Like, you can't not watch it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what makes it so fun to talk about. So maybe we'll do a video just on the last episode next week. That would be kind of fun. I cannot wait for that. It's only a couple days now. It's gonna be tomorrow from when this drops. So that's gonna be sick. Keep an eye out for that. It's
Oh, hell
be
yeah.
An amazing video. Like, I mean, episode. Wait, yeah, episode. Like the JJK episode.
bro.
Not this. We're doing that next week. I'm confused. Dude, it's been a long day. Boys, tax season? Fuck that. I'm going to bed, bro. It's like so aggravating. You want to talk about, I won't argue about JJK, right? Because like, I have my perspective, you have yours, he has his, she has hers. All valid, all awesome. Dude, fuck taxes. Like, I will fucking bitch about that until the day I fucking die.
One thing we can all unify on: we are overtaxed, overworked.
Yeah.
If we could just watch fucking anime all day and read manga,
Honestly,
it would be a better place.
Double my taxes. Just send me the bill and don't make me fill out a bunch of dumb fucking shit on like 9 different websites and have it be complicated and the websites don't even fucking work. It's like they take the most dumbest people and like do it. I'm like, okay, let's get into Hell's Paradise. Let's get into something good. Let's talk about something positive, something that's just fucking badass.
Build it back up.
I do want to bring this up though, because this was something where I was like, okay, we're doing this again. What's up with all the nudity this week? First Fire Force had a good amount, and then Hell's Paradise. I will say this though, because I am the first person every fucking time to dog on fan service and say, bro, you're how old? Like, get the fuck over it. I always hate it because it doesn't make any sense. Like, Fire Force is the best example, where it's like random, it's misplaced, and it's fucking stupid. This makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, she's dying, bro. Half her side is gone. You can see why she'd be like, getting like her like healing goo, like, that's gonna like, I think, close the wound, and like it makes sense. It's not like bad, but I watched it right after I watched Fire Force, and I'm like, it's just something up this week. We're just, because that had a bunch of it, and I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, all right.
So I, being the astute anime historian that I am, I went in and I'm like, are they really butt naked? Like the Tensen, I get the Tensen are these like ethereal beings, like, almost Adam and Eve-esque, where they're not really worried about, they're like intersex. They're not really worried about like.
Well, they keep swapping genders, yeah.
yeah, some guy seeing, that the big buff dude seeing her titties. Like,
Yeah.
at first I'm like, oh, like, does she have to be that way? But like, like you said, they're switching genders and stuff. It's not really like applicable to fan service. It's more to their character.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, does Yuzuriha like really get butt naked for this?
Hmm.
Well, not butt naked, but topless.
Yeah.
She does. It's censored. It's cool. But like, yeah, she's dying, and then she takes off the like the goo, and I thought she was like trying to like heal herself or stuff it in the wound. She was using that goo to like hide all the scars on her skin. So like, yeah, it's like a full frontal.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. I thought that she was trying to like stop the bleeding.
That's what I thought. So I'm like,
Mhm.
all right, well, didn't she use this healing ability before? So and also is she really like necky in this scene?
Mhm.
And like what I read was like the goo's like falling off her, and then you start seeing all these cuts and scars and shit.
Mhm.
And like, it's like a full frontal shot, but like her body's all fucked up. She has this huge wound. She has scars all over, and she's like, I forget at what point in the story she says this. She's just like, "Oh, I'm young and I'm pretty. Like, I just want to do what I want. Like, yeah, who doesn't, baby?" But like, she goes out of her way to like uphold this appearance, and that's kind of when she's like, "Fuck it," like I can't do this anymore. I kind of failed my sister, which she absolutely didn't. But it was like made me appreciate her character more than just like the hot girl that we've
Yeah.
called her like the whole season. So she did a great job. It was a really cool episode, and for me, like this wasn't like a fan service thing. It was kind of like more introspection on her character and her like freeing herself from this like image that she wants everyone to think of her,
That she
which
doesn't get hit or hurt or attacked, and it's like actually she's been through as much shit as Gagmar has, maybe even
I've
more.
I value my life more than anything, which clearly is not.
Yeah, and she even says it when she gets
To a
hit.
point.
She's like, I usually never get hit, and that's when you start seeing all the scars all over her body. It's like, yeah, okay, like you've been through some shit, you know?
You've been telling yourself that, but like she
Yeah.
is a good person and like she does care, and I don't know. It made me appreciate Yuzuriha more than just like like the hot nympho chick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, she's
So that
definitely
was
one of my
really sick.
favorite. I
But
think that was sick. Those two fighting were like the best. Like I said, they really gave me like Denji and Power, like similarities when they were like teachers and stuff. So seeing them like being paired up to fight and the way it all turned out, that was fucking awesome. Like they both are just awesome fucking people.
also the like connection with you get that glorious back scene with Gabby Morrow and what is his wife's name? Yuri?
Yeah. Or Yui. I think it's
Yeah,
Yui.
Yui or whatever. He's like embarrassed because he's literally like an assassin, ninja, fucking elite killer. He
Mm-hmm.
opens up the door, his face is covered in blood, and she's like, "Oh, love you anyway. Don't worry about it." It's like, damn, what a sweet girl. And as he's like walking out the door, he's like, "Thank you for saving me." Very like full circle for Gabby Mara's character.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Oh, I didn't save you. No, nah, I didn't do nothing." Then he's like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yep, I'm just gonna rest for a minute," which is clearly like that's a death flag in anime. You know what I mean? Resting for a minute is
I can't
never
say
just that.
anything. I can't say anything, but we'll find out.
I thought that was really cool. And he's like, "Are you sure you're not hurt?" And she's like, "Yep, nope, I'm good." And he's like, "All right, thank you." Like, still retains Gabby Maru's kind of cold character, but like he expresses gratitude. I wouldn't be here without you, type thing. And he like kind of checks in on her before he's like, "Well, we got to keep it moving. Like, we got to
Yeah.
go find Sagiri and like keep going with the mission," which is very true to who Gabby Maru is at his core. So like that fight ended up being the perfect pairing. I think they were probably the best duo or duos that
Mm-hmm.
we've seen through this whole Tenson fight.
Dude, and talk about just an episode of Gagmar R farming the entire fucking time. Him in the flower with like half his body's like covered in it, you know what I mean? And like his fucking clothes are ripped. I'm like, dude, he looks like an absolute beast. I saw a lot of the panels from those fights. Bro, the anime outdid itself. Like compared to some of the panels too. Like just absolutely fucking sick. The coolest moment was when he was on the rooftop with like the other shinobi and he was like standing on the sword leaning
Standing on the
out.
sword, like, oh
Bro,
shit!
so fucking cool. And that manga panel looks
Leaning into it.
so fucking awesome too. The manga panel looks amazing. I wish it would like I could get it as like my background on my computer. I know it's gonna stretch and look like shit, but like it's so good. That was such an awesome moment. So Gabby Maro too was like that was awesome that like Uriah was able to like still be amazing in this episode considering Gabby Morrow. I mean, we got all the flashbacks with him and his wife. We got those sweet sentimental moments where it's like, yes, this is what we're here for. So you can get back to her, you know what I mean? We had the badass moments of him just fucking people up. I mean, the way that he looked cool, like he's like half dead. He lost his humanity. We have the cool, moments of him as a shinobi, in his flashbacks. And then, like, just an amazing ending. And then, again, Yuriha able to, like, also just have such an impact on this episode despite everything, too. Like, it was just, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just such a good episode. There's so many things to like talk about, and so many things where it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, it's insane and amazing lead up to the finale. So next episode is the last
Yeah.
one. Walmart Sasuke has appeared. Like, shit is going down. I think it's only 20 minutes too, and I'm like, I don't know what you're gonna be able to do in 20 minutes. Like, what the fuck?
Was a little rush to kill Rien, like the head guy, in 20
Mm-hmm.
minutes, but also deal with like the other guy and
Well,
Sagiri.
what do you mean? Oh, you mean the guy at the boat?
Yeah, like the chief dude, not the grandmaster,
Got
but
it,
like
yeah.
vice grandmaster, whatever you want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot going on. Plus, like you have Gabby Mar and the other Shinobi. Like, yeah, there's a whole lot going on. When he like uses the flower, which I didn't really think he would. I don't know why. Just like I guess as a
I
last ditch.
100% thought he was going to. Yeah.
I was kind of surprised, but then he's like fighting with it. It took me back to like when I was like 14 or 15, and Sasuke has the curse mark, and he's like fighting with it, and it like keeps consuming you. And we're like, I want to hate you, Sasuke, but you're so cool. You're so badass, dude. The whole time I'm like, yeah, Gabby Mar is that fucking guy.
He
That's
really
awesome.
is, dude. He's one of my favorite all-time shonen like MCs. Like, dude, he's so good. Hell's Paradise is fucking amazing, and it's funny because we brought it up in the beginning of of talking about this. I saw like a TikTok of people talking about how Hell's Paradise looks so bad from the outside looking in, and people are like, no, even from the inside, you know, it looks bad. You know what I mean? Like, I never realized it because, like, again, Hell's Paradise isn't about like the flashy fan service. It's just kind of there. So like, it like to me, it's been kind of camouflage. But like when you think about it, it's like, yeah, there is like that like a lot of like partial nudity that's like just like censored with a lot of the tension with a lot of the characters. Also like how some of them are like sex is how like they learn and grow. I'm like, huh. Like, I never really noticed. Like, this kind of is like a camouflaged Fire Force, just good. Like, this is
It's
kind
like
of crazy.
removed. They like remove the romance or like
The
lust
Yeah,
aspect of it. Like
exactly.
the Tensen are having Bochu Jutsu.
Yeah, yeah.
There's your next pickup line, fellas. Nah, don't. I promise you don't. Don't.
No, do it because if you do it and then she gets it, that's wifey. Like,
Hidden gem right there.
Exactly. That's how
She
you
dropped
know.
a
That's
little
the
knowledge.
test. That's the test.
That's
If they no
that's
ball,
the ultimate
like...
test. No, that's so good. But like they introduce it as a way for them to like connect deeper and like trade like cow and stuff. Like it's not like, hey, you're hot, I want to fuck. Like it's not like that. And like even like we said with Yuzuriha, like she doesn't just take her clothes off because she's hot.
Mm-hmm.
That's subjective, but she's like it's not like a lustful moment or a romantic moment. Whereas in like Fire Force and like I was talking about this earlier before the
Mm-hmm.
pod, like Fairy Tale, they just happen to be at like a beach area. No chick is wearing hardly any clothes. Every girl, like new villains are introduced, bikinis. Main cast, bikinis. And like at some point you're like, okay, well nobody's really wearing that much clothing. Like, is this pertinent to the story?
I
You know what
think
I
you
mean?
make
Like,
a bad point. Like, Fairy Tail is very known to be like one of the worst when it comes to fan service.
yeah, but like it's like purposeful. You know what I mean? Like Tamaki, like they go out of their way to like make it that way. Whereas like I don't
Yeah.
really get that from Hell's Paradise. And like trying to think, there's not. I was gonna say I saw Freer in there. The anime takes a few liberties, but nothing like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the up close foot shot. I don't think that's in the
I
manga. I don't think that's in the manga.
remember that in season 1. Everyone's like, "Hey, yo."
But it's not in the manga. You're like, oh yo, what animator's on demon time right now? But like, to be fair, like I think fan service is pretty easy to be like, all right, this isn't really like impactful in the story, or like it's almost a distraction from what's
Yeah.
really going on. You get it in One Piece a lot. Like I definitely don't consider Hell's Paradise to be that way because like you can use like I wouldn't even call it nudity, but like are topless or like the pink haired girl is like vaguely butt naked in the whole fight, but you're not like
Mhm.
it's not like a focal point of the fight or the story. So like it doesn't really bother me, and I don't think it detracts from like what you're trying to watch or understand.
Yeah, no. So I get it now. Like when someone brought it up for House Paradise, I'm like, yeah, you're right. But it's like again, I don't think you can compare it to other animes because it's not portrayed the same way. So I think that I don't know. I think House Paradise is just so good. I think it's seriously one of the best. Like we have one more episode, and I don't want to see the season go. I don't. Like next season's gonna be stacked, but like I want this one to continue through it.
I know it's one of those like really bittersweet moments,
Mm-hmm.
and I've really enjoyed Fire Force, even though I've been disappointed and I have like my critiques of it, which I do with anything. But like, there's certain animes where I'm like, damn, like I kind of just got like really attached to this. Like Hell's Paradise, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
fucking full force every week. Like for it to be ending is like very bittersweet. So we'll enjoy it. You know, you definitely want to make the most of it. I think this episode will be probably the biggest and most important of any episode this season. I think
Yeah.
the last week's Freeran episode, the one we talked about with Stark and everything,
Hmm.
that's going to be tough to beat for me. I think that was really awesome. But yeah, I'm setting up for this week to be, you know, the creme de la creme of Hell's Paradise.
I'm trying to look. I'm hoping. Yeah, no. I try to get away with it. I'm like, yo, by the way, is season 2, episode 13 gonna be like an hour long? Yeah, no, it's like 25 minutes. I'm like, wait, hold on. Maybe guys, it's 3 hours long, and we can get everything we want. It's like, yeah, no, that's not the case. Wait, how's?
All I'm gonna say is the Mappa intro on the dirt or the motorcycles, goated. You know you're about to watch fire when you see the Mappa motorcycles.
Oh wait, boys, are we in trouble here? I just saw like a thing, and it's like actually, season 2 is gonna be, it's gonna be 12 episodes. Was that the last one? Surely not.
I don't think so.
Surely not. Bro, they need to like, I need to know this stuff ahead of time. I need the concrete evidence of when it's going to be done from the studio themselves. Because you'll get 3 sites that tell you 3 different things. One will tell you 12 episodes, one will say 13, one will say 24. Like, we need answers. But anyways, absolutely insane week. Yeah, we kind of went way into Hell's Paradise and JJK. Maybe a little too deep. But fuck it. We're not going to make a lot of friends on this episode. But that's the magic of episode 100. Fuck yeah. Listen.
And like, there are 2 animes, especially JJK, where like, you can have a ton of different opinions. And I think in any form of media, like movies, I'm not a big movie critic. If I go to the movies with my friends, we all have a good time. The movie was good. I'm not going to like dissect the story like I'm clearly doing with these animes. But like, if you can have varying opinions like that, that immediately to me means it's a good story.
Yeah.
It's well written to where it's like emotionally invoking, like you want to talk about it. That subjectively makes it a good story. Whether you like it or not is different. So I think that kind of speaks to the quality of both these animes. We're like, we have like pretty stark opinions. I think we're seasoned vets. I think we can call ourselves that of anime. But like
Obsessed.
other people, well, yeah, okay. But like other people will feel differently about Megami. I call them bum goons.
It's also
I'm
just
sure somebody
opinions.
out there is mad.
Like, again, we have to harp on that. Like, you're allowed to have opinions. You're allowed to fucking hate my favorite character. You're allowed to hate my favorite anime. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like, they don't understand that people like different things. It's like, dog, like, it's not that deep when it just comes to, like, that person just likes something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what makes anime so great. Like, there's so many different forms, mediums, and adaptations that, like, people are going to have different opinions. And that, like, that dialogue is what makes it so fun to, hopefully talk about, maybe argue about. But, yeah, it's so good. And, like, Jujutsu Kaisen is one of those modern ones that I think really highlights that.
Yeah, dude, 100%. This season has been fucking incredible. It's gonna be devastating seeing a lot of these animes kind of come to a close so far this season. Dude, such good story, such a wild ride. Again, next season, the spring season, is gonna be loaded. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're going back to our roots, back to when the pod first started. Classroom of the Elite. It's kind of like coming full circle here. It's kind of fucking crazy. We're having Wistoria here too. We've been big fans of that as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot coming next season that's like, damn, we're kind of going back to the beginning on this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Next season's going to be great. So don't be too sad about this season going, but we hope you guys have been enjoying. Hope you guys are ready for a lot of these last episodes. And we hope you're ready for the fall, the spring season. I know my seasons. We'll say fall.
Just skip the summer. Fuck it.
Fuck it, yeah, we're done. Alright, but anyways, guys, hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Later, guys, and peace.